Hey everybody, hello and welcome. My name is Khalid Mateen and I'm here with Hartley Penn, founder, CEO, and internet marketing expert here at thinkaboutmarketing.com. So the question is, why should we listen to Hartley on the subject of search engine marketing? Well, for starters, Hartley has been marketing online since 2002. He's spent well over $100,000 on learning from the best internet marketing, lead generation, and direct marketing geniuses in the world. He's responsible for creating marketing campaigns that have generated well over $10 million in sales. He has consistently made a high six and even seven figure income as a direct result on his online and offline marketing expertise. But perhaps more importantly, he has painstakingly studied and tested all the top selling courses that teach SEO and discovered how to make the process 10 times more profitable and, more importantly, sustainable. So, without further ado, allow me to introduce Hartley Penn. Welcome, Hartley. What are you going to share with us today?
Well, first, let me thank you for that amazing introduction, Khalid.
Well, no problem, no
No
problem.
problem at all. I appreciate it. Well, today I'm going to reveal a proven system you can use right now to get your website listed at the top of all the major search engines. That's Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Now, this system is the result of 5 years of testing. It works without fail 100% of the time. And it works for mobile websites as well, which is important because let me show you something here. There are 600 million mobile phone searches a month on Google alone, and 95% are for local companies like yours. 61% call a business after searching, 44% of searches lead to a sale, and 84% of people who land on a non-mobile ready website on their phone leave within 2 minutes. So the bottom line is your customers are on their mobile phone looking for your services. So that needs your attention, obviously. You want to be in front of those eyeballs and getting that business, and that is a huge segment of the market that I'm sure you do not want to ignore. So in short, in this webinar, we're going to show you how to get an unfair advantage over your competition. And I'm sure you're wondering about this basketball picture here. So this isn't an old high school picture of me or Khalid.
Hey,
but
is that Manute Bol? That
I'm not sure. Did he play for the Knights,
I
number
don't know.
10?
That may be him.
Not sure. But one thing is clear. He has an unfair advantage over his competition without a doubt. And it's clear. He has a clear advantage over his competition, and that's what you will have come the end of this webinar. And by the way, we are going to do our best to get this whole thing wrapped up within 60 minutes, just so you can know about that and plan for it. All right, now we're going to give you this unfair advantage over your competition, and you will never have to worry about Google updates like Panda and Penguin. Now, we've been getting #1 listings in Google for our clients for years, and we haven't been affected at all by any Google algorithm changes. In fact, getting #1 listings got boring, so we started taking over entire pages with a brand new service called Total Page Domination. So let me show that to you right now.
Wow, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, let's take a look. All right, so if you go to Google and you do a search for Pleasanton Discount House Painting, it's Pleasanton, California, you will see an example of total page domination. So this is a screenshot of it. You can shoot over to Google and do the search yourself. So here it is, Pleasanton Discount House Painting, and here is listing number 1, 2, 3, and we'll go down. Here's listing number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll go down. And, well, did I miscount that, didn't I? Let's start at the top. So here's 1, 2, 3. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's 9 and 10.
Wow,
Total page domination.
that's pretty amazing. I've seen a lot of #1 listings, first page, but not the whole complete page. Wow.
Yeah, total page domination. All right, so let's take a look at why that is significant. Now, here's a chart outlining traffic by Google ranking. So if you were #1 for a search term, you can expect to get 42% of the traffic for that term. If you were number 2, you can expect to get 11.9, so just under 12% of the traffic for that term. If you were number 3, you can expect to get 8.5% of the traffic, and so forth. So, and then if for the second page gets 10% of the total traffic. So only 10% of the people actually make it to the second page. So if you have total page domination, that means that you're looking at getting 90% of the traffic for your keyword term onto your offer. So that's why total page domination is so significant.
Wow, that's an unfair advantage.
That is an unfair advantage, and we'll talk about some more.
Great.
All right, now, just so you know, you don't have to be concerned with taking any kind of notes. I'm going to lay out for you this entire system for getting number 1 rankings in the search engines. Like I said, it works 100% of the time without fail. We've tested it backwards and forwards across more than 20 different industries. After years and tens of thousands of dollars in testing, this is what it has boiled down to, and it flat out works. I'm going to lay everything out for you, but you don't have to take any notes, because at the end of the webinar, you have an opportunity to download the entire presentation. Good enough?
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, let's do it. All right, there are 2 parts to search engine optimization, SEO, getting your website listed at the top of Google, Yahoo, and Bing. And that is, there's on-page optimization, and there is off-page optimization, or in this chart you see here, this picture, on-page SEO and off-page SEO. So the on-page stuff is that stuff that you can do on your website, all right? And that is literally like 5 to 10%, or maybe even 1% of your total SEO success. The rest of it, up to 99%, is your off-page SEO. That's where the real beef is, all right?
Gotcha.
But you do have to do some things on page, all right? So let's get right into it. The first thing to do is whatever your keyword is that you want to rank for, make that your domain name. If you want to be number 1 for pink shoestrings, then the best domain name for you is pinkshoestrings.com, okay? And I'll tell you the reason for that. Google is all about relevancy. Google wants to make sure that when a person goes to Google and does a search, they get the very best, up-to-date, most current, most relevant results, okay? Because if you don't get relevant results, you're going to go to some other search engines, all right? And Google wants you doing all the searches on Google so they can sell $1 billion in pay-per-click ads. That's what it comes down to, dollars and cents.
Right.
So Google is very concerned about their user experience, and they want to make sure that whatever someone searches for, they get great and relevant results. So what we're doing is playing Google's game and helping out Google and the consumer to find our relevant product, right? So step number 1 is, if you can, name your domain name whatever your keyword is, whatever you want to rank for. Now, we have a lot of clients, and obviously people come to us and they already have their business domain name, all right? So this is not mandatory. It absolutely helps, but it is not mandatory. We have plenty of clients and they already have their domain name, and we don't change their domain name. We'll implement this when we do total page domination for a client, but not, we won't rename their domain, okay? So this is not mandatory, but certainly if you can do this, it certainly helps.
Well, good. Good to know.
Right. And now another thing, it's yourkeyword.com, or you can have dashes in between your words. That's fine as well. So dashes are okay. And another thing is you can use any TLD that you want, but .com is best. And TLD stands for top level domain. That's just like your .com, your .net, your .org. Only thing that really matters is having that keyword in the domain name, and you do want .com if you can get the .com, all right?
Gotcha.
All right, let's keep it moving. All right, another thing that should be done on each individual web page, because every page is its own entity online. Google indexes pages. Google does not index websites. I mean, when you do a search in Google, you get a page. You don't get a whole website. It's just a page, right?
Gotcha.
All right, so here's the meta tags. The meta tags are in the head of the code in your document, in your web page, all right? So here's what a meta tag looks like. This is a meta description tag, all right? And in between these quotes, you would just describe what this page is about. We'll talk more about a description tag in a moment, but We never change the description tag on our client sites. So if you want to change it, there's a good reason to do it. I'll show you that in a minute. But it's not mandatory. If you want to do it, I think it's a great thing to do. And you'll see why in a moment. So that is a description meta tag. There is also a meta keyword tag where you would put in your keywords for this page. Again, it's for this specific page, whatever this web page is. And this is what a meta keyword tag looks like. And we don't mess with this at all for our clients. We do not put in meta keyword tags. You should. I think it's a great thing to do. We just don't do it, all right? Here's what we do, and this is mandatory. You must put your main keywords for the page in the title tag. This is a title meta tag, and it looks just like this. You got this beginning of the title, and this slash means end of the title. And you put your keywords in there, and that is mandatory. You have to do that one. So that is really all the on-page that we do. That's it. We change the title tag, and that's it.
Wow.
Simple enough?
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
It takes 2 seconds. It's a copy and paste. No big deal to do.
Okay.
Now, there are a bunch of things that you could do to optimize on page. We don't do any of it. And like I said, we're not guessing. This is a proven system. So what I'm telling you has been proven time and time and time again over many different industries, and it flat out works. It goes through all the updates, all the panda, penguin, all that mess, and our clients are completely unaffected by those updates. So what I'm showing you flat out works, and it has stood the test of time. So we don't do any of this on-page stuff. You can if you want to, and I know there's some of you out there that just want to know every little detail, and maybe you love SEO, so I'm going to briefly explain what all this on-page stuff is about, all right? So first, we have this meta description tag, which is a meta tag we just talked about, right? Now, the meta description tag, what you should do with that is whatever your keywords are for that page, your meta description tag should have that keyword as close to the beginning of the meta description as possible. You should also have a call to action in that meta description tag, and I'll show you why in a moment. Another thing is your meta keywords. You can put your keywords for your page in that meta keywords tag. Again, these meta tags are specific to the page. There is also a meta tag that's for robots, and I wouldn't mess with that tag. That tag, I've seen it actually once on a client site, and I have no idea why a developer would put this on someone's main page if they're trying to get business on. But robot tags, you can tell the search engines, hey, it's okay to look at this page, or hey, search engines, it's not okay to look at this page. Do not put this page in the search engines, right? And I had a client that came in and he had a robot excludes tag on his page, which told the search engines, hey, do not index this page. So that's horrible, right? If you want to get business on a page. So don't mess with robot tags. I'm just telling you about them.
Gotcha.
Next is the image optimization, right? So there are images that you may have on your website. So any relevant images that are about your website should be named. The image name should be your keywords, and you should also put that keyword in your image alt tag is what it's called. Don't need to know about it if you're not completely interested in it, because like I say, we never do this stuff. Another thing for optimizing images on page is if it's an irrelevant image, like it's an image that's part of the design of your site, or it's like an order button or something like that, name those images a number. So it'd be like 1.gif, 2.gif, that kind of thing. So don't give them any other name besides a number, and that will help with your keyword density on the page. Next is your header tags. There's an H1 tag all the way down to I think an H8 or 9 or maybe 7, something like that. But an H1 tag is like a bold header tag, and you should put your keywords in that, all right? Next is you should also do some H2 tags that have a combination of your main keyword and the other keywords that you're optimizing for on your website. I know it gets a little complicated, but no need to worry about it. Next is the internal linking structure, which is complicated. Okay, so with the internal linking structure, you want to have your main keyword on your main page as close to the beginning of your page as possible. It's bold, it's hyperlinked, and it links to another page on your site. And you also want to have the keywords for your other pages on your main page, and those are linking to your internal pages, and your internal pages link to your main page with that main keyword. All right, don't have to deal with all that stuff, but it gets complicated.
Yeah.
You want to have all of your navigation links at the bottom with the names of your pages, because every page has a keyword, right? Every page should have a keyword. And you want those across the bottom of your page. And you also want to have some type of a sitemap, or have that navigation at the bottom of your page. And you also want to use no follow tags with those links. So what is a no follow tag? A no follow tag, well, I'll give you an example to kind of illustrate this. Picture, let's say, a glass of water, okay? And this glass of water is your web page, okay? And whenever you put a link on your web page, you are draining some value from that page and putting it onto another page. So in essence, if you put a link on a page, it's the same as putting like a straw in a glass of water, okay? So when you have links on a page, they're linking what's called page rank to other pages. And page rank we'll talk about later, but it's basically a value of a page. And to sum all that up, you want this draining, like the water from the cup, to go to important pages. You do not want that draining to go to unimportant pages like privacy and contact us. So what you would do is put a no follow tag in the links that go to your privacy and contact page and any unimportant page that you do not want ranked in the search engines, so you can control your page rank on your website. Again, not important. We don't even mess with any of that stuff. All right, so the next thing is keyword density. So there is a certain number of times that your keyword should show up on a page. To gauge what that density is, just go to whatever site is number one for the keyword that you want to rank for and determine how many times they list your keyword on the page and use that as a guide. Last but not least, we'll talk about latent semantic indexing. It sounds complicated, but it really isn't. What it means is that if you have a page about something, you're going to have related terms that relate to that. If you have a page about mud wrestling, okay, you're going to have, if the page is about mud wrestling, there are certain terms that you would talk about if you're talking about mud wrestling, and that's what latent semantic indexing is. It means having related terms on the page to show that that page is really about the subject.
Gotcha.
All right.
Gotcha.
So a whole bunch of complicated stuff. I explained it briefly just so you guys out there that want to have a detailed explanation, well, now you got it, okay? But again, we don't do any of that stuff. The only thing we would do is name the URL, the keyword, if we can, and the other thing we would do is change the title tag. So for clients, 99% of the time, actually 100% of the time, all we do is change your title tag, and that's it. You don't have to mess with any on-page stuff, and you don't have to mess with your website. And the reason for that is because our back end, the off-site, the off-page SEO is so strong. It's incredibly strong, and it's 99% of what gets you ranked. It's strong like this little dude right here.
Look at that hair.
That guy's strong, though.
Yeah.
I mean, can you do a one-handed push-up?
Oh, I don't know. We'll see maybe after the webinar.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever tried to even do a one-handed
Yeah.
push-up, but obviously that little guy is strong, and the off-page optimization that I'm going to show you is strong like that. So you don't have to be concerned with all that whole on-page stuff. Just do the title tag and the domain name if you can, and you're good to go. Good enough?
Good enough.
All right. All right, so here is an example of a SERP. Search Engine Results page is called a SERP, little terminology there. So we have Pleasanton Discount House Painting, right? I just used this since we were just talking about this
Gotcha.
total page domination example. So here we go. Pleasanton Discount House Painting and this phone number. That is what's in the title tag, and that's where your title tag shows up in a SERP as your headline, right? And then it has the domain name, and it's PleasantonDiscountHousePainting.com. And why would Google put that number one? Is because it's very relevant.
Right.
It's the exact term .com, right? And then here, what follows, this could be your meta description, right? That's why you should put your keyword as close to the beginning of your meta description as possible and use a call to action. Give them a reason to click in your meta description because it could show up in your SERP, right?
Gotcha.
But that doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes your meta description is some random text that Google decides to take off your page, right? So again, all that must be done is your title tag, the rest of the stuff, you don't even have to be concerned with it. Fair enough?
Gotcha.
All right, so there is on-page optimization. All right, so that's the first half of it. So let me get a quick drink. Do you have any questions about anything so far?
No, everything seems to be pretty well explained. Can't wait to see more.
All right. Well, let's see more. Now, see more. I don't know what that was. Anyways,
I think that was a Homer Simpson joke.
really?
Yeah, he did
not much of a joke anyway.
well, you know what he does in a bar. But anyway,
Okay. All right. Back to SEO. So again, the on page, what we just talked about, is literally like 1%, right? And the off page, like in this glacier, is like 99%, right? This is where the whole beef is.
Right.
And this is how you're going to rank and have that unfair advantage, like number 10 who played for the Knights, right? All right, so let's get into the off page. First thing, if you will go to Google and do a search for ranking space site google.com, then the first listing that will come up will most likely be this one, which is ranking-webmaster tools help, and this is on support.google.com. So this is on Google's website, right?
gotcha.
And when you do a search like this, it says, I want to know what has ranking on this site, google.com, right? So this is what we get. And on this page, it's about ranking, which is why it comes up number 1. And it talks about how you rank. And I'm going to zoom in on this section right there. And here's what it says. In general, webmasters can improve the rank of their sites by increasing the number of quality sites that link to their pages. So Google is straight up telling you, if you want to rank better, you need links. What kind of links? You need links from high quality sites, right? Which we'll talk about. So those of you out there that have no idea what a hyperlink or a link is, let me show you, all right? Usually, a link is a blue underlined text, and when you click it, here's an example of a hyperlink, and when you click it, you go to another page, right? That's a link. So the idea is this hyperlink says Webmaster Guidelines. So when I click it, I'll go to a page about Webmaster Guidelines, okay? And Google considers that like a vote. So whoever is number 1 for every term in the world, they have the most and the best links pointing to their site saying that term. That's how you rank, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
Unless there is very little competition, and then the on page would be enough.
Right.
All right, so let's move on. So those links should be diversified, natural, and high quality, like we just saw, right? So diversified means they come from many different sources. If all of your links come from one place, that's how you get screwed when Google does an update, right? Because they update and they eliminate that kind of stuff because they want real results. So if you have all of your links coming from one spot, that is a formula for disaster. It has to be diversified. It has to come from many different sources. Next thing, links need to be natural, meaning the link text has to vary. If 100 people were to put up a link to your website, would all of the links be identical, Khalid?
No, they all wouldn't be.
No,
Some of them would be, maybe.
A lot of them would be, but all of them would not be. I mean, some would say click here. Some would say the domain name. Some would say the exact term. Some would say the exact term that you want with words before or after it. So the thing is, you have to vary the link text. It can't be the same thing in every link.
That makes it look very natural. I can understand
very natural.
that.
Next is high quality. What does that mean? It means from high page rank sites and inside text, okay? We'll talk about page rank in just a second, but you want your links to be inside the content of the web page, not like in the footer or on the sidebar, but inside the content. That is a high quality link. And
Gotcha.
this page rank, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Page rank is Google's system for ranking the value of every web page. Starts at 0, goes to 10. So what you want is links on pages with high page rank, or you want links on pages that are on sites with high page rank.
Okay.
Make sense?
Right. Okay.
High page rank pages. Let's say that, right? That's what you want links from. All right, good enough?
Good enough.
Let's keep it moving. All right, so let's talk about this proven link building strategy because that's where the money is, right? That's how you get all the top rankings and all that. So the first thing we need to do is do a little setup. So give me just a second. Do you have any questions at this point? Because I want to take a quick drink before we jump into the setup.
No, everything looks Looks pretty easy. Getting it so far.
All right, let's move on then. So, in order to get your site ranked, here's where we're getting into the beef. We're getting into the
Okay.
meat of how we have to do
That's
this
what
stuff.
that's what
Right?
I'm waiting for.
All right, so first thing you need to do is set this thing up. So, what do you do to set up? You create at least 6 different personalities with a name, a username, and an email. So, what is a personality? I'll answer that. I won't answer that. Yeah, I had this puzzled look on his face. All right, so a personality is someone you just make up. All right, you flat out make it up. So I'll make up a name right now. So the name is Mike McGillicuddy, or Sarah Jones, or Dick Butt Kiss, or whatever. You just make up a name, right? And then for that name that you make up, you give it a username and an email. All right? So you're making up these people. They have a name, they have a username, and they have an email. And you might want to come up with some type of naming convention so it's easy to track all this stuff, right? Just put it like in an Excel sheet or something. So we just create at least 6 different personalities, and every so often you want to create new personalities and to keep things fresh. But at least 6 for each campaign that you want to run. All right? Good enough?
Gotcha.
Let's keep it moving. All right. Next, you want to create accounts for each personality for all of the following. There are 56 social network sites that you need to set up accounts for all 6 personalities. You have a question?
Well, what is the definition? Give me an example of a social network. What is that?
Okay, so what's a social network site, right? A social network site is like a personal blog. Okay, so what's a blog, right? A blog is a web log. It's a content management system, and the search engines, specifically Google, love blogs. It's like a notebook that's online. It's just a way of managing and organizing content is what a blog is. So these social networks, they're just websites that you go sign up at, and it gives you a free blog where you can put, blog about your cat, or, in this case, we're going to be putting up content about your business with links pointing to your site, right? But for right now, all we're going to do is set up the accounts. We're still in the setup phase, right?
Okay.
So here are the 56 social networks that you need to go sign up with.
Again. And hey, guys, remember, you can download this at the end, so you don't have to worry about taking any notes.
Right, and we're not going to sit here for 40 minutes while you write down all 56 of these websites. So yeah, you'll download this at the end. All right, next, you're going to go to 17 article directories and sign up for accounts of these article directories.
I got a question.
Sure.
What is an article directory?
An article directory is a website where you can go and submit your articles for syndication. So there's several things. If you're an author, you can go to an article directory and submit an article, right? That you want your content to be out there.
Why would you do that if you were just giving me an example?
That is a great question, because that leads to the second reason why
okay.
a person would go to an article directory. Because number 1 is the author can submit their information, right?
Okay.
Number 2 is that's how they syndicate their information. Because other people can go to article directories and get free content, free articles that they can publish.
Oh, okay.
And that is how the author syndicates their publication, their information,
so
right?
That's why they do that. Okay.
And inside those articles are links. So people are putting those articles on their websites, and that's giving the author links back to their site. It's a link building thing, right?
Right, gotcha.
So we got a little deeper, a little ahead of ourselves, but an article directory is a directory where you can submit and get free articles, free content, all right? So you go to these 17 article directories and sign up for an individual account for each of your 6 personalities. Got it?
Got it.
All right. So then what you need to do is go to 103 different social bookmark sites and sign up for accounts as well.
Okay. Here's a question that you might not be expecting, but what's a social bookmarking site?
Great question.
Oh, okay.
A social bookmark site. You know how you'll be in your browser like Internet Explorer or Firefox or Chrome, right?
Okay.
And you see a site that you like or you want to come back to, you can bookmark it, right?
Okay.
You can save it for later, right?
Sure.
So you have just done a bookmark. What a social bookmark is you are bookmarking basically for the internet. You can go to websites and do a bookmark and say, hey, this is cool. People who are interested in this, you can check out this page. I think this is cool. And I do a social bookmark on one of these social bookmark sites. Now, Google loves social bookmarks because look at this. If a person is going to go through the trouble of signing up for an account at a social bookmark site and put in a note saying, hey, this is a cool website, well, Google looks at that and says, well, hey, if this guy's putting up a social bookmark, or in this case, a bunch of people are putting up social bookmarks about this website, well, that website must be pretty cool for that topic, so we're going to rank it higher in the search engines, right?
I see. Yeah. Okay.
So a social bookmark is just that. Instead of bookmarking for your own personal stuff, you're bookmarking for the entire internet and bookmarking for these communities. So that is what a social bookmark site is. So just head on over to all 103 of these social bookmark sites and sign up for accounts, right? So you got your name you have to input when you sign up. You got your username, your email. You probably have to verify your email address. You got to put in the CAPTCHA. Do that for all 6 of your personalities for all 103 of these sites.
No
Good
problem.
enough? Yeah, no problem. Have that done in a month, no problem, right? Just the social bookmarks. All right, next, we need to go to 15 different RSS directory sites and sign up for accounts.
All right. Well, you might see this coming, but
Yeah, I do.
What's an RSS directory?
An RSS directory is a website that lists a bunch of different RSS feeds. So what is RSS and what's an RSS feed, right? RSS stands for Real Simple Syndication. When you publish a blog, most likely it would have an RSS feed. It's probably like feed.yoururl.com. And what that does, it's a means that you can syndicate your information, right? So I could go to an RSS directory and I can get an RSS feed about whatever topic I'm interested in, and I can put that into an RSS feed reader, and then I can just, without going online or everywhere, I can just get the information from that RSS feed.
Oh, okay.
So if there's a blog that you really like, you can go get the RSS feed, put it in your RSS reader, and you don't have to go online or go to the blog, and every time a post comes up, you'll get it because you have this RSS feed, right?
Okay.
So people go to RSS directories to get that RSS feed so they can feed free content into a blog, they can feed free content into whatever they want.
Oh,
okay. So it's another way that you can syndicate your content, right? So you need to go to these RSS directories and submit for an account because you're going to be submitting RSS feeds to these directories.
And that's for all 6 of your different
all
personalities.
All 6 of your personalities.
Gotcha.
All 6 of your personalities need an account with every one of these and with the other ones as well. Every one of them, all 6.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, seems like a lot of work there, but
it is a lot of work. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
And this is just one campaign. You want to get like just, I would say at most like 3 keywords or so.
Right.
Ranked at the top. I'll call that one campaign. If you want to do more keywords, you got to do this all over again for each one. For each group of 3, let's say. All right?
Oh, okay.
And again, I'm not guessing. This is proven. Okay? So we're not guessing here. All right, next is 58 ping sites. The good thing about these 58 sites is you don't need an account, but you still have to know what they are because you're going to use these ping sites.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I won't even let you ask the question.
Well,
what's
I
a
was
ping
going to
site?
say, it has nothing to do with ping clubs, I guess, right?
No, not the golf clubs ping, but these ping websites. So just like this guy standing up on this pedestal announcing to people, that's what pinging is. So you would go to a ping site, you'd put, let's back up. You put up a web page, right? And you want to let the world know about this new web page that you put up. So you will take the URL, which is the domain name, URL. I'm sorry that I use terms like that. I think most people know what that is.
Yeah, URL.
A URL is a Uniform Resource Locator. It is your domain name, your www dot whatever, okay? You put up a web page, you get that URL, you go to a ping site, you enter that ping site and click enter, submit, ping, whatever it says, and the ping site goes out there and says, hey Google, hey world, hey all the search engines, there's new content over here and here's the URL, come check it out. So it's a way to announce to the world, to the internet, to all the search engines that there is new content over here. Come check it out.
Kind of like a press release or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Okay.
Something like
Except
that.
online.
It's like well, there are online press releases, but you're opening up a whole other can of worms right
all
there.
right. Well, let's just keep it.
So it's an announcement system, announcement service, right? So here are the 58 ping websites that you need to know about. Was it 58? Yeah, it's 58. And so you'll be going to all these sites and using them, okay? But the good news is you don't need to sign up for accounts for these 58 ping websites,
Gotcha.
all right?
Gotcha.
All right, so let's add all this up. You got 56 social networks sites that you got to sign up at. You got these 17 article directory sites you got to sign up at. You got 103 social bookmark sites. You got 15 RSS directories, and you also have the 58 ping sites, but you don't need accounts for those. So let's do the math on that. That's 191 sites times 6 personalities. That's 1,146 accounts that you need to set up to even start the marketing. This link building that we're going to talk about.
Wow, it's a heck of a lot.
It is a lot. But we'll talk more about that in a moment, okay? Just so you know what's going behind getting these #1 listings and why it works so well and why it works every time.
Gotcha.
There's some work behind it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now, let's get into some more top secret stuff, I've already been telling you some top secret stuff, but we're going to go a little deeper, right?
All right.
So this is the top secret stuff here, how we make this thing happen. All right, so here's what you do. Now that you got these accounts set up, you need unique articles for each submission. If you haven't guessed by now, we're going to take content articles. An article is just a page of information, right? And we're going to submit it to all these different accounts that we have set up, right? But the articles need to be unique, right? Google is not stupid. Whenever Google does an update, Google gets less stupid, right?
Yeah.
Google is not a person, by the way. Google is it's a computer. It's a machine. Google has these bots that go around crawling the internet, indexing pages and reading things, right? It's a computer going around doing things, not a person, right? So when the Google bot goes around and looks at all the different pages and looks at your links, if it were natural, you would have these links. They'd be inside the content like we talked about, but these articles would be unique. They would be different, right? Some of them would have pictures. Some of them would not have pictures. Some of them would have 5 paragraphs. Some of them would have 2 paragraphs. They would have different lengths. They wouldn't all be the same exact length, the same exact word count. They would be very different. Make sense?
Yeah, makes
so
perfect sense.
You need a unique article for each submission, all right? And now the title of the article, it needs to start with your keyword. Whatever keyword that you want to rank for, start your title with that keyword, all right?
Okay.
Also, the article should be a 500-word minimum. That one's a simple one, right? Next, you want 1 to 3 links, and they need to go directly to your money page. Now, again, if a bunch of people put up different articles about your website, some of them would have 1 link, some of them would have 2 links, some of them would have 3 links, okay? We vary it between 1 and 3. They all wouldn't have exactly 1 link or exactly 2, right? So that's another thing about the articles being unique. And the next thing, and this took me, like I'm going to tell you about here, this took me 8 months of testing to figure this out, right? Because I guess maybe a couple years ago, and maybe it's still popular now, it's these link wheels, all right? No link wheels. Maybe guys that are smarter than me have that whole link wheel thing figured out, but I tested it. I couldn't get it to work. What worked was when I started linking. You have these links and these articles, and they go directly to your money page. A money page is whatever page you want to rank in the search engines. We call that a money page, all right, like your home page or whatever. So the links in your articles go directly to the page that you want to rank, not through some elaborate link wheel. So here is an example of a link wheel. You have sites that link to other sites that all link together that eventually link to sites that link to your money page. It's a big, complicated mess. Okay, so instead of doing a link wheel with all this complication, which I couldn't make work. Maybe it does work, but after 8 months of testing, I couldn't get it to work. But when I started linking directly to the money page, I got instant results. Things started happening. So just link to the money page and none of this link wheel business. Simple enough?
Simple enough.
All right. Now you can hire a freelancer to write your articles, maybe like $10 to $20 per article. Just go over to elance.com and you can hire a freelancer to write those articles. But again, each submission needs its own unique article. Good enough?
Right.
All right. Now, here's what you need to do. You need to do this every single week. All right? This is your link building strategy. You need to do this every single week. And you want to rotate personalities for each individual submission, right? We got 6 different people that we're working with for this one campaign. So here's the thing. Here's what you do. Here's what took me years of testing and tens of thousands of dollars to figure out. Here's the secret sauce. You ready?
All right, let's hear it.
Here's what you need to do. Now, again, you're going to rotate personalities for each individual submission. But you're going to put an original article with 1 to 3 links. It needs to vary, and the article is original, right? On each social network site, and you're going to record the URL and the RSS feed for that submission. All right?
Gotcha.
Then you're going to go and you're going to submit an original article with 1 to 3 links to each article directory, and you're going to record the URL and RSS feed URL, right?
Gotcha.
Depending on the article directory and depending on where some social network sites, whatever, you may be only be able to do 1 or 2 links. Every site has its own rules, so that's something else to be aware of, right? Next, you're going to submit an original title, keyword, and description to each bookmark site. And then you're going to record the URL and the RSS feed for that submission. A social bookmark is not an article. It is a bookmark, just like you bookmark in your, like inside of your browser, right? Mm-hmm. And so you put a title, you put your keywords, and you put a description, and it all has to be unique for each submission on the social bookmark sites.
Gotcha.
Next, you're going to submit 2 random RSS feed URLs to each RSS directory and record the URL. Again, this is a secret sauce. This is a proven system, okay? So don't vary from the system. It's 2 random RSS feed URLs, okay? Don't submit them all to one RSS feed directory. It's 2 random ones, right? Then you're going to submit every URL created above to each ping site. So you got like hundreds of URLs. You go to each one of those 58 ping sites and you ping them all. They're all the 58 sites.
Gotcha.
All right?
Yeah, sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. But, you do that and what happens? Page 1 on Google, baby. You know what I'm saying? You're number 1. The result is first page listings or number 1 listings in Google, Yahoo, and Bing in 30 to 90 days, period. We've done it time and time and time again. It is flat out proven to work. So if you do what I just laid out for you, you will absolutely get the result. And I got to tell you, this is my favorite picture. I just love the look on that little guy's face. He's like,
Yeah, he's got it there. You know he's got it there. Look at that little fist.
I'm telling you, man. Page 1 on Google, baby. Yeah. All right. So obviously,
that's kind of how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, that is, I'm going to take a drink real quick, but that is a lot of work to get number 1 in Google. But it works.
Right.
Google, Yahoo, and Bing. That'll get you number 1. You do that every week. Every single week, you got to do all that stuff. Not creating the personalities every week, but all of this, and not the setup is the setup part of it. You do that, and then you update that periodically. I'd say every couple of months. Right. Okay, every like 30 to 60 days, you want to be updating your personalities and setting up new accounts in that. So you're not doing that every week, but every week you're doing the submission part of it, all right? So, excuse me while I take a drink. So this is that is a big chaotic mess, all right? If you have a business to run, my God, you do not want to be dealing with all that, right?
Yeah,
unless you just love SEO.
Yeah.
All right, so there is software that you can use. Here's a software that we use at thinkaboutmarketing.com. It's SE Nuke, all right? So that's the good news. There's software to help you with this stuff. But here's the bad news with SE Nuke. It took 2 years of testing for me to perfect using SE Nuke for link building, all right? You don't just go in there, push a button, it builds all the links for you. You actually have to set up SE Nuke. And there's this process called spinning, right? Mm-hmm. to make sure that you have unique and different versions of each article. It will insert different, either one link or 1 to 2 to 3 links. It'll vary the paragraphs. It'll put in pictures, not put in pictures. It'll do all that stuff for you, but you have to set it up to do that. And there's a big, it took me 2 years to figure all that out, right?
Gotcha.
So it's not easy, but it's doable with SE Nuke. And it is the most complicated software I have ever had the pleasure of using. You open up SE Nuke, and to deal with SE Nuke is like, walking into an airplane cockpit and getting ready to fly for the first time. It's just like, it's a lot. It's like that. It's a complicated software. I'm not going to lie to you. Another problem with SE Nuke is they're always updating the software, trying to stay on the cutting edge themselves. So be careful with SE Nuke, because if you push the wrong button, you could sandbag your site in Google. All right. What does sandbag mean? That means you were number one. Now you're number 101. Okay.
Wow.
I did a test, and it wasn't an elaborate test or anything, but SE Nuke, the newest version, they have these wiki links inside them. When you can set up all these wiki links. Okay. I'm not going to get into what a wiki link is, because what I did was I had a couple of websites that were like 1 and 2 for this search term. Okay. And they weren't client sites, they were test sites. They were 1 and 2 for this search term. I put some wiki links on them, and they disappeared from the first page.
Wow.
They're on like page 57 or something, all right? Now, granted, it wasn't like a drawn out, scientifically accurate test, but all I'm saying is I was number 1 and 2. I threw the wiki links on them, and I wasn't even on the first page. I was on like page 50 something, all right? So, I'm not going to put any wiki links on anyone's project. I'm not going to put that on a client site.
Right, right.
No wiki links. So that's what I'm talking about. We are always testing and staying on the cutting edge. Do you have time to be testing every little thing that SE Nuke comes out with to see if it works or if it's going to kill your site? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. And here's one last thing about SE Nuke. It will give you viruses on your computer.
Wow.
It will. So you have to have your security measures in place, because I guarantee it will give you viruses. All right, so there you have it, SE Nuke. All right, so now you can do it yourself. I have given you everything you need to do it yourself, right? So how do you feel about doing it yourself?
Well, I tell you, my head's hurting right now. So, and then how much time do I have to really do all of that? It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it does work.
Right.
It's been tested. It absolutely works. So I've given it to you as promised. You can do that, and you can do it yourself, and you will experience amazing success. You'll be on the first page, if not number 1, Google, Yahoo, and Bing, 30, 60, 90 days, done, right?
Gotcha.
There is an option, though. Because people, you have businesses that you run, and unless SEO is your passion, you don't want to be doing all that, right? So if you want help, you can push the easy button. What's the easy button? You can hire us at thinkaboutmarketing.com to just do everything for you. And we'll do all that stuff for you. We have the staff. We have the expertise. We know exactly what we're doing. We've done it 100 times over. We know how to do it, and we can do it for you, right?
Okay.
But you don't have to hire us. You can do it yourself, okay? Now, if you want to consider hiring us to do all this stuff for you and get you ranked, here are 15 reasons to push the easy button if you don't want to do it yourself, all right?
Okay.
So let's get into these 15 things, 15 reasons to have us do it for you. Number 1, the door is open right now. So if you want us to do it for you, you got to act now, because we are going to very soon, we're going to hit this 100 client limit, okay? And once we hit 100 clients, we're going to shut the doors and not let anybody else in, because 100 clients is at capacity for us. That's all we can handle, because we are all about customer service. You will have your own account rep that has intimate knowledge about your specific campaign and knows everything about your campaign, so you have a designated person to talk to. And once we go past 100, our customer service is going to suffer. So it's important to us to maintain a high level of customer service. So once we hit 100, we got to close the doors. Simple as that.
Okay.
Simple enough?
Gotcha.
So that's one reason you got to act now if you want to get us to do this for you. Number 2 is exclusivity by keyword. If somebody wants to be number 1 for a term, there's only one number 1 spot. We don't compete against ourselves. So once a spot is taken, it's taken. So keywords are on a first come, first served basis, right?
Gotcha.
If somebody has your keyword, we can't market that keyword for you, right?
Right, right.
All right. A third reason is now this is for this webinar only. You can't get this anywhere else, all right? These 15 things and everything I'm going to tell you about, you can only get on this webinar. This is one of these things you can only get on this webinar. Free total page domination, all right? We will dominate a page for you for free. This is special just for this webinar, okay?
Harley, what's interesting is that, I've seen a lot of, first page listings and competitive terms and all of that. But I've never seen anyone have all 10 results.
Right.
It's amazing.
So what we're going to do, we're going to put together 10 properties, 10 website properties for you, right? And then we're going to market them to take over an entire page. That's total page domination, right?
Wow.
And we're going to do that for you for free, all right?
Wow.
Special for this webinar only. All right, the fourth reason to push that easy button and to hire us to do this for you, if you desire, is something that I didn't tell you about in that secret sauce, this proven system, is I have tested doing that link building once a day, once a week, 3 times a week. I've tried every combination, and 2 times a week is the sweet spot. 2 times a week has the best success rate, so you can skyrocket to the top. That's 2 times a week. So what that means is we're going to do a part of our regular service is to do all that link building that I've already shown you once a week, but for free we're going to do that a second time a week.
Wow.
So
seems like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but we're going to do it an extra time for you for free.
Okay.
So you can be in that sweet spot twice a week. You need to do all that stuff twice a week if you're going to do it for yourself, all right? Number 5, the 5th reason to push that easy button and to hire us to do this for you is, here's something that I left out of the earlier stuff. Another thing that we do on top of everything else I've shown you to get those #1 listings is we have a private blog network of more than 1,000 blogs, and we syndicate unique articles with your links across our 1,000 blog network, all right? Now, I realize that most of you out there probably do not have your own network of 1,000 blogs with high page rank, right? Probably not, right? So you can't do that unless you have your own blog network. But, I wanted to make sure that we disclosed everything, and if you wanted to do this yourself, you could, right? So I'm going to tell you how to get your own blog network, all right?
Okay.
Here's what you do. You can actually buy expired domain names that have page rank. You can go to GoDaddy.com and sign up for their auctions, and they auction off expired domain names, and they have page rank. So you can go out and buy a PR5. It would take you a long time to build up to a PR5, page rank 5, and you can just go buy it. It's not cheap, but you can go out and buy those domain names, and then what you do is you put a WordPress blog on those domains, and there's several different ways that you can even automate those blogs where posts are going on automatically. You probably just do a search for automated blog posting, and you'll have a bunch of different solutions. So that's what you do. It's expensive and time consuming, and you have to go out and actually buy the blogs and set them up and stuff. But you can do it.
Right.
I just told you how. Go out, buy your blogs, host them, put them up. Hosting. You're going to need a dedicated server, especially if you're doing automated blog posting, because you will blow one of these, $10 a month servers. You'll blow that up. Wow. I've blown up a few servers. It just gets too much. It gets too much for one of those little $5 a month server accounts to handle. You need a dedicated server, which is several $100s a month. But you can set up your own blog network with that. All right. So that's another thing that we will do. If you ask us to do this thing for you, we will syndicate articles and get you more fantastic links across the blog network. Next, we will give you a free mobile website.
Whoa.
Does it get any better? A free mobile website, okay? You're going to say something?
Well, I just know how important that whole mobile website is. I read an article the other day saying that by the end of 2013, which is, coming up real soon, the majority of people that search online in the search engines will be searching from mobile devices.
Yeah. Very true. And we talked about all these stats before. I'm not going to go over them again, but look, people are searching on their phones. I mean, I'm one of the last ones to convert, and I'm even searching for stuff on my phones.
Right.
I used to have one of those old archaic Blackberries with the buttons and stuff, and I love my Blackberry, but I finally just gave it up, and I went ahead and got a smartphone because I want to stay current, and I'm in this business, and I gotta I want to stay current. I'm not crazy about touching the screen and all that, but I mean that's where it's at, and that's where your customers are. I mean,
Right.
and you can't ignore it. People are on mobile devices and they buy from their mobile devices. So that's where your buyers are. Now, what does your website look like on a mobile device? Here is someone's website on a mobile device. Now, what the heck is this? I don't even know what the heck this is. It's a cosmetic dentist, but I mean, there's no navigation that I can see. I mean, I'm gonna have to scroll around. I'm gonna have to do some work as a consumer to get any information from this guy's website. How do I call him? Do you see a phone number? How do I contact him at all? Where's the contact? Where's what's the stuff about his business? The information about his business. What about the dentist? I mean, are there any special offers? I mean, what am I supposed to do with that?
Well, let me ask you a question real quick. Why can't you see a normal site that you see online? Why can't you see it on the mobile? Why doesn't it fit there automatically? What's the difference?
That's a good question, and it's right on time with here's an example of a mobile optimized web page. And what happens is there's this thing that's called stretch and fit. There is a code that you put on a web page that makes it stretch and fit no matter what size the screen is, okay? And that's how we optimize for mobile devices. And not everybody does that. Some guys will just make your mobile website teeny tiny, okay? So I mean there are iPads and stuff like that, right?
Right,
And
right.
if your guy that's making your mobile website just does a teeny tiny little website that doesn't stretch and fit, you'll have somebody on an iPad and then they got this little tiny little website thing in the middle of their screen.
And probably
which
vice versa on the
yeah,
phone.
yeah.
Right.
So what you want is this stretch and fit technology so that when someone comes to your website, they can be redirected. And I'll talk about that in a second to a mobile version that does do the stretch and fit. So I just brought up this example of another dentist mobile optimized website. So as you can see, without doing any work, I can find how to contact them, I can find out about them, and I can even tap this button to call them. I mean, go look at your website on a mobile device. What does a person have to do to call you? Are they supposed to write down your number and then go call you? I mean, can they just tap your number or tap a button and call you? Is a person supposed to pull over, and then write down your number and and do all that to find your restaurant? Is that what they're supposed to do?
Right, right.
I mean, who's going to do that? You're not going to do that. You're going to hit the back button and they're going to go to your competition. That's what's going to happen.
Another thing that's very interesting is I was reading the other day that only about 3% of the businesses that have websites are actually mobile optimized. 3% in the complete market right now.
So there's another way that you can be like number 10 and have a clear advantage over your competition. I mean, shoot, if you're looking for something online, if you're looking for a lawyer and you happen to be on your phone and you want to look up a lawyer real quick, I mean, who do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with somebody who can easily operate on the phone, who can easily find the information? Or do you want to go, the hard way and write down phone numbers and be trying to, get pieces of the screen on your phone so you can read what's going on? I think you know the answer to that question, right? So if you ask us to do it for you, just through this special offer on this webinar, free mobile website.
Wow.
Good enough with
Wow.
the stretch and fit technology so it fits on any mobile device. Got it?
Got it.
Got it. All right, let's keep it moving. You will also get free hosting, all right? And it's top-notch quality hosting, all right? It's not one of those cheap little $5 a month hosting accounts, but it's top-notch hosting. The uptime is guaranteed, and the bottom line is when your mobile website needs to be displayed, it will be displayed, all right? It's reliable hosting, and you'll get free hosting. You don't have to be screwing around with that, right?
Right, okay.
All right, next, the eighth reason to push that easy button and hire us to do your SEO for you is free device detection. Now, here's the thing. There are a ton of different mobile devices, okay? There's iPads, there's all kinds of different new iPhones, there's all kinds of smartphones coming out all the time. And all these phones, they have software on them to make them operate. And that software itself is constantly being updated, all right?
Yeah.
So what happens is, kind of getting into what you were talking about before, when someone goes to your website, there is a code on that website that says, hey, this person is on a mobile device. Let me show them the mobile version of this website, okay?
Right.
That's how it happens. That is a device detection script that's on your website. Now, if you just go on Google and find some script and put it on there, chances are in the next 30, 60, 90 days or so, that script is going to start to become obsolete, okay? You need to update that script constantly. Our device detection, we are updating, it gets over 1,000 updates a day. That's how many times that software is being updated across all these many different devices, and how many new devices are coming out constantly.
Wow.
Now, trust me, you do not want to be keeping up with that type of volume, You want something that updates itself, and that's what our device detection script does. We keep it updated, over 1,000 updates a day, so you don't have to be concerned with it. The bottom line is, when someone on a mobile device comes to your website, they get served up the mobile version of your website so you can make sales and get customers. Bottom line, okay? So that's extremely important. With me so far?
Gotcha.
Free device detection.
Gotcha.
That's huge.
Right.
Ninth reason. Guaranteed results. I told you we've done this time and time again. You hire us to do this for you. We guarantee that we will get you first page listing in 90 days or less, or you pay nothing. If we don't have your listing, you don't pay anything till after we get your listing, okay? Guaranteed. And this one really pisses off a lot of SEO guys out there. Our competition does not like our guarantee.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I've heard a lot of situations where they didn't give a particular date where their listings would be on the first page, or 6 months,
I talk to potential clients all the time, and I hear it literally every day. They'll say, oh, I was talking to somebody, and they say, because of Panda and Penguin or whatever, there's no way that anybody can guarantee that you're going to get a first page listing. Not only that, not only can you not guarantee that you're going to get on the first page, but heck, we don't even know if any kind of time frame,
Yeah.
We don't know when and if you're ever going to get there.
Yeah.
Bottom line is the typical SEO thing. And so that's why they get so pissed at us about how can we possibly offer such a guarantee? Well, I tell you why, is because we know what we're doing. We've done it over and over and over again. If you keep doing something and you keep getting the same result, aren't you going to know how that thing works?
Right, exactly.
That's the bottom line to it. So the results are guaranteed. Simple as that. Number 10 reason to push that easy button and hire us is ROI. We are very conscious of your return on investment. We want to make sure that you are making far more in profits than you're investing in your search engine optimization campaign. So here are a couple of examples. Here's a case study from the Mueller firm. They make $28.57 for every $1 invested in SEO.
Wow.
Now that's a heck of an ROI.
I don't know what the percentage on that is, but you can make a comfortable living like that.
It is, and I don't know what the percentage is, and I was certainly under the impression there would be no math in this webinar, so I'm not going to try to figure that out.
Okay.
All right, here is another case study from Moore Family Dentistry. They make $10.12 for every $1 invested in SEO. So the bottom line is we are very conscious about your return and making sure that your SEO campaign is profitable. All right. So now, the 11th reason to push that easy button and have us do this SEO service for you is detailed tracking and reporting. Everything is very transparent. You can see exactly what's going on. We'll even give you a weekly report so you can see almost all the links that we build for you. We can't give you the exact links for everything because some have to go through an approval process before the publication is before the publication goes live, okay? So we can't get every URL, but we'll get a lot of them, okay, to show you what's going on. So you get a report, you can actually take the URL, put it in the browser, and go look at the article and the links and everything pointing to your site. Very transparent. Okay?
Okay.
That's the 11th reason to push that easy button. 12th reason is no contracts. You cancel anytime. We're not for tying anybody down. You know, we get results, and if we don't get results, you fire us when you feel like it. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right. The 13th reason is the 100%. We have 100% Google approved SEO. It's 100% Google approved. And we have 100% success rate, like we've said time and time again.
Okay, well, when you say Google approved, because I've heard people talk about that, the black hat and white hat and stuff. So maybe explain, kind of what that is, the differences, and, to kind of put people's mind at ease about, just because they see something that they've never seen before, it's still legitimate.
Well, that's a great question. So everything we do is completely white hat. So what is white hat and what is black hat? White hat means you are using techniques that Google approves of and are quote unquote legal, okay? And black hat would be systems that you would use that Google would not approve of, like using doorway pages and doing these tricky things with technology to rank #1 in the search engines without building your links and that kind of thing. But the thing is, to do those black hat techniques requires some work, okay? And Google's not stupid. There are a lot of smart guys that work over at Google that are putting together that Google bot,
yeah,
right?
I probably figured that.
Yeah, that Google bot, that's a smart little bot that's out there that computer indexing pages and stuff. So it's only a matter of time before you get caught and you lose your listing, you lose your traffic, and you lose the money and the revenue you're making from that website. So why not put your time and energy behind the right way to do it? And it is the right way to do it because we have a staff of writers that write these articles and things. So we're contributing to the online community. We're not just putting a bunch of junk out there. We're putting out content that people can get some kind of value from, all right? So everything we're doing, we're keeping the online community in mind, and we're doing this the right way. So 100% Google approved, completely white hat. Does that answer your question?
Most definitely.
All right, let's keep it moving. The 14th reason is we're going to give you huge discounts if you want us to do this for you. And again, this is just a special offer through this webinar. All right, so the 15th and final reason to push that easy button and have us do your SEO for you is discounted pricing locked in for life. If you couldn't tell by the total page domination thing, we always want to stay on the cutting edge. So we have just a ton of really cool, high ROI marketing campaigns that we're going to be launching that you can take part in. There's all kinds of mobile stuff with the SMS texting. There's a ton of stuff that's in development right now. We're even working on getting multiple listings and taking over the whole six-pack for Google Local. That's the listings next to the map.
Right.
We're going to taking all of those listings over next to the map. So all these really cool things that we launch and bring to the market, you are locked in at the discounted level, so you can get all that stuff, dominate your competition, be like number 10, and have that clear advantage over your competition at a discounted price.
That was Manute Bol, by the way.
You think it was Manute Bol?
Yeah, I think it was. Okay.
Well, he definitely had an unfair advantage, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And it was very clear. Now, here's a question that comes up. What if you want more keywords than what we're talking about? Because it's 3 keywords, and then it'll be 1 keyword for the total page domination, right? So I guess at most it'd be like 4 keywords, right?
Right.
All right, so what if you want more keywords? Well, first off, you need to click the button over to the right and sign up right now. And by the way, I hope the button pops up to the right. I don't think it's underneath. I think it actually pops up to the right. But either underneath or over to the right, there's a sign up button that comes up. And click that button to sign up. So that locks you in with the discounted pricing. Okay, that's the first thing. All right, so then tell us the keywords you want, and we can overlap them, okay? So once you sign up, just tell us, you'll have an opportunity to tell us after you sign up what keywords that you want. And if you don't know right now, you can tell us later, right? You can also talk to your own personal customer service rep. I said you'll have your own person who has intimate knowledge about your campaign. You can talk to that person about your keywords to make sure that we're getting you ranked #1 for all the terms that you want to go after, all right? So that's what you need to do if you want more keywords. So now let's explain this overlapping keywords thing, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Because it's possible that we could fit all the keywords that you want under our 3 to 4 keywords that we're talking about here without you having to invest any extra money into it, right?
All right.
All right, so let's talk about how this overlapping works. So let's say you wanted to be #1 for best mud wrestling in Los Angeles, California. And this is just an example. I don't even know if this is a real market. Do they do mud wrestling at all anywhere, or is that?
I would have to imagine they do mud wrestling everywhere.
Oh, you think so?
I
don't know.
I hope so.
I don't know what the mud wrestling scene is like in Los Angeles, but this is just an example, all right? So, best mud wrestling in Los Angeles, CA. Let's just say you wanted to be #1 for that keyword phrase, okay? So that's a keyword phrase, all right?
Okay.
By optimizing or us setting up your campaign for that keyword phrase, you were also automatically going to rank for this term, mud wrestling Los Angeles. You're also going to rank for this term, Los Angeles mud wrestling. And those are completely different terms. If you do a search in Google, you will get different results. So those are different terms, right? You would also rank for Los Angeles, CA mud wrestling and mud wrestling in Los Angeles and best mud wrestling and mud wrestling Los Angeles, CA and just mud wrestling. You'd rank for all of those things, right?
Wow, okay.
So that's how we overlap keywords. So we started out with like 1 keyword phrase, and actually that's like 8.
Right. Okay. So you could wind up with a whole bunch of
You could wind up with a whole bunch of keyword phrases by this overlap.
And a nice savings. That's great.
So you may or may not even have to invest in more keywords, but let's talk about it because maybe we can do some overlapping. And that way, this is another way that we increase your ROI. So you can get more money, you can get more return on your investment in your SEO. Make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
This also works the same way with plurals. So if we optimize and go after a plural, we're automatically going to get the singular. Make sense?
Oh, okay.